Hi, it's me, infps, and I'm in the library in the quiet room, but there's nobody in the quiet room, so I can actually talk. If you look outside, you have some little cute houses, and I don't know if you can hear the church bells. Quite nice. I've been reading Dorian Gray. I'm around a third of the way in. I think maybe you went to see the long array of books on the wall. I'm here like a half hour before the library closes, so there aren't a lot of people here. It's a sunny day, and it's one of the only sunny days, but I finished the work a little bit earlier, so I've already been outside. Now I want to keep reading this book, but instead I'm making a video. I had quite a lot to do today because it was a Monday. There was this guy who called me right when I was about to leave the house in order to tell me that he needed to fix my toilet, and so he did. So I'm grateful for that. I didn't need to really be involved much into that. Yeah. I saw Vondelpete's video about being unstoppable. I cannot relate. I am extremely stoppable. A lot of things stop me from doing crazy stuff. But at this point, like, I don't have any... I'm not surprised by anything that vondelpete would do. He could say a bunch of stuff like that he robbed a bank or something, and I would believe it at this point. I don't do anything in my life. Like, I sit in a library like this and I just think. I don't do. And if I do, it's because I've thought about it for ages and ages and ages beforehand. So that video was pretty funny, but like not relatable at all. I wish I were unstoppable at some points in my life, but that hasn't happened yet, I guess. And I think that with time I'll become more mellow, so I won't be as rash. So I don't know if that will ever happen, but maybe. Who knows? I also saw Dolus's video where he used my words in the video, which was really weird, but I'm glad that I said something that made some sense in all of my ramblings. It was a video about identity. And identity is, you know, it's what infps are all about. It was based on a discussion that I had when I first met my INFJ friend 3-4 years ago. Or I first met him in 2018, but I really became friends with him in 2020. And 2021 especially. And it was basically because I needed somewhere to live. I needed a place to go when it was the pandemic, and that was, he offered that I stayed at his house. And I'm not the sort of person who goes and stays at people's houses before this, you know. So I really appreciated him doing that and allowing me to stay over. And this was before we were into MBTI, so we both understood that there was something deep about the other person, but like we didn't know which angle to get it from. And I think that we got there in the end. First, we had to reveal our deepest, darkest traumas, or, you know, I think that we got into MBTI first, I'm not sure. But anyway, we got into the subject of identity, and that was one of the first, things that we connected on wanting to talk about. We really wanted to talk about identity. And he was coming at it at a completely different angle than me, you know, as an INFJ and an INFP. But then I didn't know that he was an INFJ and I was an INFP. I just knew that this was something that we had different views on, and I thought that was really interesting. Because for him, identity was what other people thought of him from the outside, while for me, it was what I thought of myself. With time, I think that both of our views in the end, we realized that both parts are important. I started realizing that other people's views of me are also a part of my identity, and he started realizing that he has a sense of identity as well. Because I did know him for a few years. And really it was the start of a beautiful friendship, that conversation. It was that conversation that started it all. It was the first philosophical conversation that we had, the first deep conversation that we had. And that was before we even, what happened is that we watched Parasite, and then I revealed a great trauma of mine, and he revealed the greatest trauma of his. And in the end, we kind of bonded over that trauma, but it was actually this discussion of identity that started the depth of the friendship. And so it will always be on my mind, you know, it will always be important to me. It hurts to talk about because, well, he left, and I won't ever get over it. I won't. I think it was Dee who said that, from Older INFP Insights, she said that, you know, an INFJ took a part of her soul. And I would say that that happened to me too. I can live without my INFJ friend, but a piece of me has gone. And I won't retrieve it ever. Maybe I'll construct another part, but it won't be the same. There are people on the street talking. So being reminded of that conversation was quite moving for me. Then I also found out that Bufo's dad died, and I couldn't reply to her video really because I was at work. I couldn't watch a video when I was at work. And then she took the video down. I hope that she feels the love that I'm trying to put out. I think that there are certain things that will affect us forever, you know. They will scar us forever. And to say that we can move on from these things is not really the truth, you know. The truth is that we won't. really be able to let go, but we'll be able to keep doing what we need to be doing, regardless of how much it hurts. And that makes us strong. But I think as INFPs, it goes a lot deeper than some other types. I know that grief affects everybody differently. But I don't think it's a weakness to hold on to some of these things, because it has informed a part of who we are. My INFJ friend was a part of me. And just like my other friends throughout the years have been a part of me. Even my friends from primary school have been a part of me, you know? And it's not just a snapshot, you know? It's not just a snapshot in the story of your life. It's like the binding of the book, you know? It's not just a page in the book. My INFJ friend has been posting about me. A friendship isn't just a page in the book. It's in the actual glue that holds the pages together, you know. It's the constitution of the book. It's not just a page. A page can be ripped out. A page is just, can be, you know, a book can just be shut and then you just don't think about it anymore. That's not how friendships are. That's not how relationships with family are. It's the actual, like, it's binding. It's the thing that keeps the whole book together. And if that disappears, you can figure out a way to, like, mend the book, but the book won't open as crisply as a new book anymore, you know? I'm not saying that we're all broken if we experience loss. I'm just saying that we need to acknowledge that it does affect us deeply. And we can't just listen to the common narrative of, like, well, you know, you should just get over it. I've seen also Castro, his mom died not so long ago. And he's getting back into his creative phase, and it's lovely. But at the same time, I think that we need to give ourselves time and grace about not being able to accept it, not being able to move on, you know. We feel things deeply, and so I think that we should like, acknowledge that. It's not going to be as easy for us as for some people. So yeah, we want to show that we feel better, you know, and we want to keep going immediately after falling. We want to pick ourselves up and grow and be the stronger person. But it's okay to fall to the ground sometimes, you know. If we keep stumbling and falling to the ground, like, sometimes we need to bend down and tie our shoes, you know. Because if we don't bend down to tie our shoes, then we'll just keep stumbling all the time. So it's okay to, you know, lie low, think about things, and not immediately jump into action, you know. because that can lead to some rash decisions that aren't maybe helpful for us, you know, and they can be actively harmful for us as well. I think sometimes it's okay to be in a hibernation state. Sometimes we need to be in an FISI loop for months. And it's not like we are not living when we're in the loop. It just makes things a little bit harder to go out, get out there and be positive. But sometimes we need to feel. Sometimes we need to do the introverted stuff. I know that this isn't very self-growth mindset of me. It's not a very unstoppable mindset of me. But I think that sometimes we need to stop. Okay. Sometimes things are hard and we need to stop. That's why I got into burnout, is because I guess my unstoppability was when I did my internship and I just kept going. And even when I was going through burnout, I was like, no, I need to keep going. Sometimes we need to stop, because if we don't stop, then our bodies and minds will stop for us and they will crash when we don't want to crash. It's better to crash when you feel like this is a time to crash, because then it's not really a crash, it's more like a slump, you know. A slump you can get into and come out of. A crash will be much more deadly, you know. So I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, I need to stop talking because I need to soon get out of the library, and I do want to read a few books in my book. So yeah, have a great day.